Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sierra, and I teach Spanish. Last week's focus was on AR verbs, and today I'm going to focus on ER verbs, all of the conjugations. So, if that's something you're interested in learning, stick around because that tutorial starts right now. All right. So with this, before I jump in, I do want to let you know that I have a freebie already available online for you. Pop into my website and you will be able to download this cheat sheet. It's linked in the description box below. But this just gives you kind of a reference point for all of the Spanish conjugations that you're going to learn today and the other ones that you've learned in previous videos. All right? So today's focus is ER verbs. And so we're specifically going to focus on the verb beber, which means to drink. Now, I do want to note that a lot of people use either beber or tomar. It's just as regional. It just depends on what country and what area you're in, who you're speaking with. Some people say, yo tomo café. Other people say, yo bebo café. It still means to drink, okay? So, we're going to move into those conjugations, all right? Presente. Yo bebo. Tú bebes. Ella bebe. Nosotros bebemos. Ustedes beben. All right? So, I encourage you to pause the video, jot down some notes if you need to, and then repeat those verbs along with me, okay? Because you should, by the end of this, you should be able to pick out a few verbs and run through those conjugations over and over and over and over and over again until you commit them to memory, okay? So now we have some vocabulary, all right? And I want you to try to form a sentence. Café means coffee. Caliente means hot. So based on what you know about conjugating, how do you say, I drink hot coffee? Now you can pause the video and think about this, write it down if you want. How do you say, I drink hot coffee? Yo bebo café caliente. Yo bebo café caliente. All right, moving on to the pretérito. This is the past tense. You're going to use this in the past. Anything that has an expiration date, it's already happened. This event is done and over with. It was 4 hours ago, 5 years ago. It has an end date, a permanent end date. You would use preterite tense, okay? So these are the tenses. Pay special attention to the yo form and the él, ella, usted form because these ones have accents, okay? Yo bebí, tú bebiste, él bebió, nosotros bebimos, ustedes bebieron. All right? So now for the vocab. Your vocab is horchata. This doesn't really translate because horchata is just horchata, whether it's in English or in Spanish, it's horchata. That's it. So, like I said, it doesn't translate, and so I'm just going to tell you about it. It's like it's a sweet drink, almost like a dessert drink. It's made with, and it's going to sound weird, but it's like rice water with a lot of sugar. It has some cinnamon in it. It's just delicious. And it's served cold over ice, okay? So it's delicious. If you haven't tried it, I recommend you go to your nearest Latino restaurant and you get some because it's so good. All right, horchata is a sweet drink. And then ayer is yesterday, all right? So remember, pretérito, that past tense, it has an end date. In this case, that end date was yesterday. So now, based on what you know about how to conjugate preterite and the preterite tense, I want you to say, yesterday she drank horchata. All right. Ayer ella bebió horchata. Ayer ella bebió horchata. Moving right along to the imperfecto. The imperfecto, this tense, it is like ongoing actions, or it's actions that don't have a really definitive end, okay? Yo bebía, tú bebías, usted bebía, nosotros bebíamos, ustedes bebían. Notice that it's just ia, ias, ia, ian, okay? All the E sounds, okay? So, if you need to, run through that again, practice the conjugations, and say them, get your pronunciation right. If you're ready, we're gonna just move right on. Te is tea, and cada día is one of the ways you can say every day. You can also say todos los días. That's another form. There are other ways as well, but for this case, we're going to use cada día, every day. How do you say they drank tea every day? And remember, this one is imperfect. It's in the past, but it doesn't have a set end date. It doesn't say they drank tea every day 4 years ago. No, it just says they drank it every day in the past, okay? So, they, you should have said, ellos bebían té cada día. Ellos bebían té cada día. El futuro simple. Now, there are multiple ways to speak in the future tense. I just called this one simple future because it's quick and easy, and this is the one that in my circle at least, this is the one that I hear most people using, like with the highest frequency, okay? And you'll notice that we're keeping the verb beber in its infinitive form, okay? We're not conjugating beber. Instead, we're conjugating ir, which is to go, all right? Because future simple is I'm going to do something. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do this in the future, okay? So, yo voy a beber. Tú vas a beber. Ella va a beber. Nosotras vamos a beber. Ellos van a beber. Now, pronunciation tip, you don't need to split this up. Va a beber. No, you just say it in one fluid motion. Va a beber. Va a beber. Va a beber. And the same thing here. Van a beber. No, you're going to say van a beber. All right? It's going to sound the same. It sounds almost like you're running all the words together, but with people that speak fluently, native speakers, they're not going to space that out a lot. They're not going to say, usted va a beber. They're just going to say, ¿y usted va a beber? All right? So, with our vocab, después means after. Work es el trabajo. So I want you to say, we are going to drink after work. Drink what? Who knows? We are going to drink after work. If you need more time, pause the video, but I'm going to move on. Nosotros vamos a beber después del trabajo. Nosotros vamos a beber después del trabajo. Futuro. This is the tense that you'll use when, again, another type of future tense, because this is talking about what you will do, okay? I will drink. You will drink. He will drink, okay? So, yo beberé. Notice how the infinitive is here. It's not changing. The infinitive stays, all right? But what does change are these endings. And remember, just because this is an ER verb, it doesn't mean there aren't any A's. Because look, look at the endings. E, A, E, and then A again, okay? So really pay attention to these endings, all right? Yo beberé, tú beberás, usted beberá, nosotros beberemos, ustedes beberán. Okay? Moving on, here is your vocab. Jugo de naranja, orange juice. Con is with, and desayuno is breakfast. All right, I'm going to give you some time for this. How do you say, I will drink orange juice with my breakfast? I will drink orange juice with my breakfast. Beberé jugo de naranja con mi desayuno. And now, I do want to note, you don't have to say yo in front of each time you want to say I. You don't have to put that pronombre in front every single time, because when people look at the conjugation, it'll be obvious and it's already implied that is yo, beberé. All right? So just keep that in mind. If you put yo in front, it's still correct. If you didn't put yo in front, it's still correct, okay? It's just certain sentences, it's implied that, oh, that means that I will be drinking, orange juice with my breakfast. Next note about this, I do want to say that desayunar is a verb, okay, that can be conjugated. But desayuno, el desayuno, that just means breakfast, okay? So that was your just quick grammar tip, quick vocab tip. We're gonna keep it moving. Conditional. The conditional tense, this one, it does have some stipulations with it. It's kind of like the hypothetical. Well, I'll do this if this happens, and so I'll do that if that happens. It hasn't happened yet. It might happen, it might not. So that's why we use conditional. You can think about this one as like a rainy day verb. If it rains, then I will cancel the fiesta. Okay? So here are the tenses. Pay special attention because this is another one of those verbs that the infinitive does not change all the way through. But what does change are just these endings, okay? Yo bebería, tú beberías, ella bebería, nosotros beberíamos, ustedes beberían. Here is your vocab. Hace frío is cold. Afuera, outside. And chocolate caliente, hot chocolate. So this is what I meant by it has stipulations, okay? It's hypothetical. Well, if it's cold outside, I'll drink hot chocolate. So how would you say that? If it's cold outside, I will drink hot chocolate. Si hace frío afuera, yo beberé chocolate caliente. And ladies and gentlemen, that was all. That was all the main conjugations of ER verbs in Spanish, at least the most popular ones that we use most of the time. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you stick around. And I do want you to subscribe so that way you can continue getting updates from me and my channel. And then also, if you don't follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, all the social thingies, make sure that you join along and subscribe so that way you can follow, because I post a lot more on my TikTok than I do on my YouTube. So if you want to make sure you get all of my content, you definitely want to head over to TikTok as well. So thank you so much. Hasta la próxima.